Do your shoulders feel kind of permanently attached to your ears? Maybe you massage them every night, or your honey does. Maybe you stretch your neck constantly trying to get that kink out. Maybe someone tells you, God, you're tense, just relax. And 5 minutes later, the tension's right back, right where it started. What if your shoulders aren't tight because they're weak or they're just trying to hassle you? What if they're tight because they've been working overtime to protect you? Because in the body's wisdom, it's only trying to help. Today, I want to explore why neck and shoulder tension becomes chronic and why so many traditional approaches only bring temporary relief. And then I want to guide you through a gentle somatic yoga practice you can return to whenever that upper body starts carrying more than it needs to, and you notice that the tension's crept back in. And my hope is by the end of the session, you'll not only feel different, but you're going to understand why you feel different. That's what I love doing as a physical therapist. I'm Dr. Melanie Carlone. I'm a somatic physical therapist, a breath and nervous system educator. I'm a yoga teacher, and I got more than 4 decades of clinical practice in various settings. I got a master's and a doctorate degree in physical therapy because I'm like a lifelong learner. I'm trained in 2 forms of yoga treatment, yoga therapy. And what I love more than anything is being able to apply my knowledge towards figuring out the root cause of issues. Some people call me the body whisperer because I believe our bodies are always communicating with us. And the neck and shoulders are some of the loudest communicators that we have. They are one of the first places that will tell us that we're overwhelmed long before our thinking mind catches up. But instead of listening, so many of us actually get in the habit of just declaring war and trying to overcome. We buy thumpers and beaters, we get massages and all that. And we try to push harder. But maybe you've noticed that they just keep creeping up there and the tension returns. So today I want to ask a different kind of question. What if your shoulders and your neck aren't resisting you at all? What if they're actually trying to help you? How does that change it? Sometimes I think of chronic shoulder tension kind of like a body armor, not because the body wants to be stiff, but because at some critical point it discovered that lifting, bracing, and holding helped you navigate the tension that was in your world at that time, and that lesson sunk in as something that had to be repeated. Maybe it happened during a really stressful period of your life, or repetitive work days at computers, or maybe caregiving, or that crazy lift and something shifted. Maybe years just simply sitting at a computer can do it. The real reason actually matters less than the pattern you can discover. Because the body learns when the life gets demanding, it needs to lift, it needs to brace, because that's what it's always done. And eventually that nervous pathway becomes automatic. So here's what I want you to really hear. That tensioning can be a reflex. The overdoing, the bracing, that holding on, especially the one that runs down the back line where your shoulders are back all the time, is called the green light reflex. Or the front line where you're pulled forward. It's not a character flaw. That's the flexion, the red light reflex. It's the body staying ready for impact. So it raises a really interesting question. If your shoulders learned one of these patterns, can they also learn a different one? And how do you do it? Very rarely is shoulder tension just about your shoulders. Everything's connected to everything. So notice what often comes with your shoulder tension. Tune in. Is your jaw clenched? Is your breathing shallow? Does your head drift forward all the time as you tight around the ribs? The feeling of never quite getting a full satisfying breath? Because all of these systems work together. When one braces, the other ones join in. In somatic work, you have to see the body not as separate parts, but one organized whole. And one thing has an impact and pulls on and orients all of the rest. One of my teachers who really inspires me is Sue Choi, and she puts it this way. our systems of vision and hearing, our sensory systems, are part of how the whole body can organize itself, and working with them can undo it. So your eyes, your jaws, your ribs that breathe, your shoulders are all reading the room together. So if you only go to one part of the body, if you only pull on one tight muscle, you're going to see a physical therapist or a chiropractor, and they're always working on one thing. That thing that gets put back into place looks good for a minute, it quietly gets pulled back. The lasting change doesn't come from winning a fight with one muscle. It comes from helping the whole system feel safe enough to reorganize. So if everything is all connected, then where do you begin? And here's the cool message. It almost doesn't matter. But before we start moving, let's check in with each other. So without changing anything right now, just notice your shoulders. How high are they? Are they forward? Are they pulled backwards? Just notice. Is your jaw resting or is it clenched? Is your tongue behind your front teeth or pulled back? Can you feel your breath in your rib cage, and where is it? Does it get all the way down to your low back? Leave me a comment afterward and tell me which part surprised you the most. What did you notice when you tuned in? Because a lot of times people realize, oh my gosh, I'm clenching, and I didn't even know I was doing that. So if you'd like more practices like this, do the subscribe thing. It means a lot. Help out a sister with that. All right, so let's do a follow along somatic yoga practice. It isn't about forcing anything loose. I want to invite a listening conversation, listening with your nervous system, that primitive part of the body, like a scared animal under the bed. You can go slower than me. You can stop anytime. Just stay really curious about what's showing up. So the first one, orient. Awesome practice you can do anytime. Just orient. Sit comfortably and just come to right now. One of the ways to do that is let your eyes move around the room and let your head follow. So slowly turn your eyes and then your head, and just take in color and light. Don't have to land on anything in particular. Just notice what happens to the body as you start to become aware of the edges of things, the space around you. Your eyes first and your head follow. And keep breathing. Most people notice that something starts to soften. Their shoulders drop before they ever try to relax them. Your belly softens. Because when your eyes discover that there's no threat and you're paying attention to it, the body lets go. It unwinds a little vigilance all on its own. That's your nervous system receiving new information. It's very cool. So orientation. All right, step 2. Become aware of the space behind you. Just imagine it. Don't turn around. And now let's practice into it. Space behind you. We're going to breathe into the low back ribs. The way I like to do this is put your hands around your sides. Breathe into your thumbs, the back of your body. Imagine the ribs widening and pulling back, right above your belt line. And notice the exhale. You may notice that as you really focus on that, without chasing the inhale, the exhale lengthens. You don't have to perform the breath. It's like you free the body and wait for the breath that arrives with your intention, with your conscious awareness, and it leaves on your own. It arises and it passes away. And somewhere in there, a fuller exhale starts to come without effort. Why? Because the body actually appreciates the relaxation. You may notice that as you're doing this, the neck is starting to participate less. Your shoulders may settle. Now, this can be really subtle, but it's the repetition that changes the nervous system. Your body recognizing, oh, I'm a little safer now. Over time and practice, it likes that. Now, tune in again. Notice where your shoulders are sitting. Let's do one more. Are your shoulders forward? Are they pulled backwards between your shoulder blades? Don't change anything, just notice. And now we're going to float our shoulders really slowly. Notice where they are and lift up from exactly where they're lying on your ribs. Just lift them up. Keep breathing in your low back. You can even let your eyes gently go to the side, and at the top, pause. And now lower them very slowly. Imagine like ice melting in the sun. You're not dropping, you're dissolving. Keep breathing in the low back. We're going to do it again. Let your shoulders come up very slowly. Eyes move to the side, breathing in the low back. And let them drop really slowly. And as they drop, how smooth are they? The more ratchety they are, the more tension you hold. The smoother they are, the easier it's getting, right? Let's try tiny circles with the shoulders. See if you can take the tips of both shoulders, or imagine if you had a pencil sticking out on each side and a piece of paper, and you're going to draw some circles. Just stay curious. It doesn't have to be really big. There's no pressure to perform here. It's not a perfect movement. It's just information. You may notice one side easier than the other. It may be easier to go forward or backwards. Just notice. Cultivate your witness. All right. That's shoulders, right? Let's play with your neck. Imagine a pencil attached to your nose. That pencil's there. I'm going to ask you to draw a small half circle down in the air towards your chin and up to the other side, a U shape. And as you do this, feel deep up in the back of the neck. This is not a motion that many of us do easily. Breathe in your low back, relax your shoulders. And now let the U become a circle. Keep breathing and notice how smooth it is. Notice if there's a bunch of crunchy sounds in your neck. Just notice. You don't need to fix it. It's not broken. And come back to center. Now make it even more interesting. Try a tiny figure 8, like there's an 8 in front of you. And most people notice one direction is smoother than the other. Don't fix it. Just observe you're participating with all the joints of your neck. And interestingly enough, the observation itself starts to change the system, because that's how the body works. As you tune in to your sensory and your proprioceptive part, the body changes. It's being paid attention to. Integrating the two sides of the body, really important. So let's try this, a cross body reach. Reach your right hand up and grip your left shoulder and pull down to the opposite hip. Drag across your body and then do the opposite side. And feel your ribs breathing in the low back and connect the two types of your body. And then we're going to spiral. Let your head rotate right, and then your chest, and then your belly. Breathe. And then let the head come back, the chest, and the belly. Keep breathing. Head goes left, chest goes left, belly. Head comes back, chest comes back, belly. Do it again. Head, chest, belly. Keep breathing. Head, chest, belly. Now you're activating all the segments of your spine. Head, chest, belly, and back. You're letting each segment become aware that you're participating. You're aware of it. And just notice, feel your spine now. And notice this, where are your shoulders? Have they shifted position from where you started? Do they feel different? Just notice. This first step of recognizing, of giving space, actually becomes part of the practice. Your shoulders they don't have to carry all that movement alone. Your whole body can help. That's like the team of you connecting and sharing the load. That's the way it's meant to. So finally, recheck everything. Notice your jaw. Notice your breath, your shoulders, and compare this to how you felt just moments ago when we started. Because even subtle differences matter a lot. They tell you your nervous system is adaptable. Relief doesn't come from force. One of the most beautiful lessons of the body that we're learning more and more these days as things ratchet up and we get more tense. The body, nothing responds well to aggression. It responds to trust. It responds when movement feels safe and contained and held. Then muscles let go of unnecessary effort. When your breathing expands, guarding decreases. When your awareness widens, your perception opens, protection can soften. And it isn't that you're weak or vulnerable. It's actually intelligence. It widens your resilience. And notice as you did this, something quiet just happened in there, didn't it? For a few minutes, you weren't fighting your shoulders. You were listening to them. You became a calm observer of your own body, watching tension instead of being lost inside of it, trying to fix it or battle it. So that steady witness that yogis have been teaching for thousands of years, meditation's all about it. That witness is the part of you you're slowly, steadily strengthening when you do these practices. And it can only come out once the body feels safe. So build a small habit. Imagine spending just 5 minutes each evening. When you get ready and you start to maybe brush your teeth, instead of checking out, check in. A few breaths, a few shoulder floats, looking in the mirror, some gentle head, neck, and body spirals. Not because you're fixing yourself, but because you're reminding your body that it has options, that there's more available to it to work together than what you thought before. And if you pair that with a tiny habit you're trying to connect, brushing your teeth, going to the bathroom, driving, then things don't happen in dramatic movements, but they happen in gentle repetition. And it all comes down to trust that that's going to keep happening. Those small reminders accumulate. And one day, you're likely to realize, oh my God, my shoulders aren't living up by my ears anymore. Not because you forced them down or found a really good chiropractor that it could adjust you. Not that I have anything against chiropractic, I love it. But because you're inside of yourself and no longer feeling like you have to hold and stay vigilant. So if your neck and shoulders have been carrying the weight of your life, I hope today's practice, as simple as it is, these simple steps you can do, give you some permission to set some of that tension down. Because your body isn't failing you. It's adapting to what it thinks it has to do to help you. And with patience and curiosity and gentle movement, those adaptations change. That's the quiet work underneath everything I teach. When the upper body connects with the lower body and finally trusts it can let down its guard, something steadier comes forward. The calm self who looks around, who breathes, who chooses ease instead of bracing for the next thing. And that's relief that can last. That's resilience. So if this practice helped you, let me know. What shifted? Did your breathing deepen? Did your jaw soften? Did you notice your shoulders change position in relationship to your rib cage? Was it easier to drop them? I'd love to hear it. Put it in the comments, and if these somatic practices are helping you reconnect with your body, with your life, even with the people around you, please like this video, do the thing, makes a difference, and above all, move with kindness, breathe with awareness, and remember, your shoulders, your neck, they don't have to carry the whole story. They're not alone, and you're not broken. Everything's connected. When you feel that tension, you're protecting. We heal in relationship with ourselves and with each other. See you guys later. Thanks for showing up.